A huge thank you to everyone who's continued to support my work on Talk Beliefs. I now have a Patreon campaign where all contributions go towards the cost of travel, audio and video equipment, and fees to religious events that I fully intend to continue to infiltrate. Thank you. Okay, I'm in London. I am near Holborn. Between Holborn and Covent Garden, I think, unless I'm completely lost. And you can always be certain that on every corner, especially near train stations, there'll be a couple of gormless-looking Jehovah's Witnesses. Sorry, but they just stand there staring out into space, hoping that someone will come and talk to them with their magazines and their books. Or do they really care if people come and talk to them? Because after all, they're doing what their elders and the governing body want them to do, which is stand out there being good little J-dubs. I don't know. Perhaps I'm being too hard on them. This is why I like to ask them what it's like to be in the organization. Do they really enjoy going out and spending 2 hours or however long it is, so many times a week, standing out there in the rain sometimes, just peddling their magazines which say that the end of the world is coming? Be interesting to find out. Hi. What is it?
Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was a free map of London or something.
I know, but
Okay.
these are free too. Just to have a nice reading.
Oh, Jehovah's Witnesses. Yes. I know some. Well, I grew up in America, and some friends down the street were Jehovah's Witnesses. Yeah. Okay, so I know a little bit about it. You know, not a lot.
All around.
Yeah. Okay. So I never understood what the magazine Awake. What is that about?
Yeah, this one here is a very nice topic.
Yeah.
Breaking the language barrier.
Breaking the language barrier. Yeah.
And you know what is interesting? That we translate our publications in more than 700 languages. And we have a free website, jw.org.
Oh yeah.
Where
Yeah.
you can easily find a lot of information, publications, video. Nice
I'm just interested in this.
vocabulary.
The ant's neck.
Yeah.
Oh, it's about evolution, is it, and all that kind of thing?
It really explains something interesting about ant.
Oh, about ants. Oh,
Yeah,
the design
like
and structure of this interface is critical for the performance of the neck joint. Oh, I think I know what it's saying. It's saying it couldn't have evolved. It was probably a god that designed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It points out, that there is a creator.
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
I think you can have it.
well, I mean, I don't know whether I completely buy into the, God just did it sort of thing. You know, because you look at evolutionary science, it's all based on evidence, isn't it?
Well, no, not really.
What do you think?
Everything.
I think as well, if you just take a step back and look at, normally evidence is based on what you have at the time, not necessarily it being true. So years and years ago, everyone thought, the earth was, flat, it goes to the end, the tip off. But in the Bible, right from the beginning, it said the earth was round. So it's things like that. Obviously, the Bible doesn't touch on science, but when it does, it's been accurate way before people come to
It
realise
said
that.
the earth was round.
Yeah, and the earth hangs on nothing, which is talking about gravity. So things like that, obviously, no one obviously knew about this before. But the Bible doesn't talk about science, but when it does touch on certain aspects, it's always been accurate way beyond before they even, discovered
But I
it.
think also, I remember Genesis, because I always found that really interesting, that God created the heavens and the earth, and then he created animals and plants, and then he created light, or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is like, don't the plants need light first in order to
Really
grow?
okay, because of the order.
Photosynthesis.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
I think for me personally, I just marvel at all the things we have around us. I just think it's all too good to be, I do a lot of travelling, it's all too good to be true that the way that the earth kind of, even photosynthesis, we see that the operation of that kind of process happens with no kind of waste that affects the environment or pollutes the environment. Anything we do, we can't seem to get it just right, to affect the environment in an eco-friendly way. It's always quite difficult, whereas the earth, it just amazes me how everything happens. And when I travel to see the beauty, I just think it couldn't have everything come together so nicely. The plants we have, even us having our own, fingerprints, I'm like, that's amazing. We all have our own unique.
but why do we have things like,
cancer and flesh-eating viruses, and
That's a very good.
people are born with mutations, and
that's the answer to that is given in the Bible as well. We weren't supposed to have these problems. It just because of what happened in the beginning. That's why we have them, and God is going to put a solution. So all of this we see is temporary. We have, based on the Bible, is hope for the future.
but there are good things as well. I mean, you just said
course,
there's
yeah,
good
yeah.
things,
Of
but there's
course,
bad
yeah.
things.
There are bad things. Well, there is at least one reason why all these bad things are happening. Can I briefly ask you, in your opinion, who's ruling the world at the moment?
Ruling the world.
Yeah.
Various human beings are ruling it in places of power.
But look at what the Bible says in, I don't know if you can see, 1 John 5, verse 19.
Yeah.
Can you read here?
We know that we originate with God, but the whole world is lying in the power of the wicked one. Ah, right. So Satan is controlling the world.
See?
Yeah. Well, that's if you believe in devils and
It's
invisible creatures
But
and
if you
things.
look around, actually,
Yeah.
we're told that God is love. So actually, in the world, people are reflecting love. Or,
Yeah.
on the other hand, are they reflecting bad qualities, such as, I don't know, they are egoist, they are basically the majority, they're very mean. So they actually reflect Satan's personality.
Well, I
not
mean, if
God's
Satan is that powerful,
personality.
surely the whole world would be in this horrible mess. But it's not. It's not. I mean, I'm not attacking you right now. I'm having a nice chat with you.
Sure.
People are
There
going on
good
about their
people,
business.
Of course, there are good people.
You know.
But we are talking about in general.
Yeah.
What do we
But
see
why would he
in
do
the
it just
world?
piecemeal, half and half like that? Well, if he's got the power to do that, why doesn't he just make the whole world a complete
Well, he
mess?
will. But at the moment, he's not the one ruling.
Yeah.
This is why all these bad things are happening. But it's not going to be like this forever. This is the
Yeah.
good news, actually. But that we can find in the Bible. Because, many people think that the Bible is just like an old book of prayer, like something boring.
Yeah.
But actually, the Bible contains the truth that can really give us answers to all our questions. Look at this promise we find in Revelation chapter 21.
Yeah, I was brought up Christian, so I know all these Bible
You're
chapters.
good, yeah.
Bible books.
21
Yeah.
verses.
That's the last book of the Bible, isn't it? Yeah.
Verse 4.
And he will wipe away every tear from our eyes, and death will be no more. Neither mourning or outcry nor pain anymore. The former things have passed away.
Is it not a nice promise?
It is, but why is he allowing it in the first place?
Well, this is a good question, and the Bible gives the answer to this question. Let me show it to you. Here.
Another book.
So, this is a nice brochure.
Oh, I don't want you to ruin your
Is
magazine.
it, oh, no. So, you see all these topics here.
Oh
Here's
yeah,
the
what is
question
who
you
is
asked.
God? Why does God allow suffering? Yeah.
Yeah. Why does God allow evil and suffering? Is a
Yeah.
good question. Oopsie. Okay. So, this is lesson number 8. So, you will always find references in the Bible because the
Yeah.
answer comes from the Bible.
Yeah.
So, what does God allow evil and suffering? We're supposed to start from the beginning.
Yeah.
So, how did evil begin?
Okay.
This is the point. You can take the reading if you want.
Oh, I know what this is about. This is Adam and Eve in the garden. There was a tree there. God said, "Don't touch that."
Yeah.
And Satan or some being was there and said, "Oh, you'll be fine. Eat that." And so Eve ate it, gave it to Adam, and somehow that got God so angry that the world is now in the mess that it's in now.
Roughly. So,
It doesn't sound like an evil
Adam-
act, though. It just sounds curiosity to me.
Adam and Eve, they sinned because they rebelled against God. They basically
Was it rebelling, really?
Yes, because the command was pretty clear.
Yeah.
Because God said, "Do not eat from that tree, otherwise you're gonna die."
Why did he put the tree there then?
It's not that he gave them a wonderful paradise.
Yeah.
Just he wanted to have obedience as a lovely father. He said, "I've got the right to decide what is good for you."
Yeah.
So I
So
created
it was a
you.
test, basically.
It's not that it was a test. It's
It-
not
it looks like a
just the
test to
point.
me,
It looks like,
doesn't it?
but it's not, because as the creator, don't you agree that he had the right to decide what was good for them, like a parent? you
Yeah.
know?
So
Yeah,
that
our
fruit that
parent.
they ate was the tree. It was the tree of good and evil.
The knowledge.
So when
the
you eat it,
knowledge of the
you'll
good
know
and
what's the
evil.
difference between good and evil is.
No, when they ate from that tree, they
Yeah.
basically said like, okay, we don't need you, God, to decide what is good for us.
Yeah.
We can decide all by ourselves.
Yeah.
That was the point there. Okay. Now,
So that's not a good thing, deciding for ourselves what's good and evil.
well, which is the result?
Well, people are different, but not everybody is a Christian or a believer
Yeah.
at all. And yet there are people like that who lead very moral lives, you know.
Well, unfortunately, because they decided to follow Satan, this is the result. So
Yeah, but
people
if, like for instance, I
fight.
don't believe in God or anything,
Yeah.
but I am a good person. You know, I don't
Yeah.
harm people. I don't steal from them because I know what that would feel like. I put myself in their place.
Yeah,
You know, I'm not doing it because you know, God is commanding it.
yeah, and of course there are good people, even in different religions. But the point is that God has a purpose. So if we want to really join that purpose, we have to obey His will. That's the point, because His desire from the very beginning was to have like a earth full
Yeah.
of people that does His will.
So it seems that the lesson taken away from that, Adam and Eve, is you've got to be obedient first.
Yeah,
So
you got
God
the
has all the
point.
answers, and you just follow what He says.
Yeah, I got the point. Because
Isn't that
whatever
just
He
isn't that sort of
says
just
is
like
good for us.
obeying a dictator? You know, it's
Oh no, because we are not forced. The Bible is there, you know.
Yeah.
There are laws and principles. If you want to follow, it's good. If you don't want to follow, it's up on you. But of
and what happens to
course,
people who don't follow?
They're not going to be part of God's purpose.
Because I did have some Jehovah's Witnesses friends, and something happened to them where they were disfellowshipped.
Okay.
That's it. So I don't know what it is they've done or something. But that to me doesn't seem very biblical. You know, it seems because, you know, nobody would talk to them.
Yeah.
Some of their own family members wouldn't talk to them.
Yeah.
And it wasn't anything bad they'd done. I think the teenage son was seeing a girl or something like that. And that's all it was.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But is
also the
that
Bible-
biblical?
Yeah. For us, it's really a serious matter because we call ourselves Jehovah's Witnesses. So
Yeah.
we bear God's name, okay, and we preach. So we have to try our best to, you know, behave according to God's principles. Can you
Okay.
imagine me having like a moral life and
Yeah.
then preaching to people God's world?
Yeah.
So-
I'm just trying to understand that all.
Yeah,
So
I'm
not trying,
I'm
you know,
trying, you know, to
yeah.
explain you to a point. So it's very important for us that we, you know, respect the God, the laws and the principles contained in the Bible, and we are not forced. So whenever we decide, okay, I want to live according to, you know, my desires.
But
or
that's
whatever.
an
You can do
individual's
it,
choice,
but-
isn't it? In
yeah,
your
it's an individual
congregation.
choice, but you can't be part of the Jehovah's Witnesses anymore.
But you literally turn your back on them, don't you, though?
Well, it happened. Some
And even
people,
mothers turning their back on their son and their daughter. I mean, why?
Oh,
That's the part I don't understand.
No, it's not really turning the back, but it's like you made your choice.
Yeah.
You have to.
Surely you should encourage them.
Oh,
We
no.
do. We have things that we turn to Jehovah. We have certain things which we try and encourage people.
Yeah.
If they want to come back, but we can't force anybody.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
can't force. But anything God does is out of
It
love.
just sort of sounds like, oh, you're not one of us anymore, then goodbye. But to me, that would result in depression and self-doubt and who knows what.
Well, I understand your point.
You know,
I
That's what it looks from the outside.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
It may look like this.
And something that we find quite interesting is that people who have gone through that experience, although it hasn't been nice, they've come back and said, by you all being strong and sticking to what you should do, that's helped me to take my time and come back and realize that yes, I should do the right thing.
Would you like it if your mum did that to you?
It wouldn't feel nice, but if I was going through something at the time, I would understand. You know, because
What if it's just something like you fancied a particular boy and he wasn't a believer or something, and
I don't
then
know the stories, but generally it has to be something. You know, people look into things. It's not just something small or
Yeah.
it's normally an issue that has come up, or a big issue.
Okay. Well,
It's
I mean,
not normally
personally, I don't agree with that. It doesn't seem very
Yeah.
loving, whether you call it biblical or not. I'm all for sort of understanding, encouraging people, putting myself in their place, that kind of thing. That's just a little problem I have
Yeah, that's
with it. That's all. But thank you so much for talking to me. Anyway.
Thank you for stopping.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Okay, gosh, it's very noisy here. Lots of double-decker buses in pure British fashion. Okay, yeah, you are going to find a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses standing around street corners, not far from train stations or anywhere where there's a continual influx of people. And there's two girls there. A girl who seemed Eastern European, and the other girl who was obviously British. And it usually ends it up with them pointing out Bible verses. These days it's usually on an iPad. When I put it to them about disfellowshipping, well, they seemed to get a little bit uncomfortable, but they did have an answer for that as well. But I did notice on a couple of occasions that when I made a comment about something, they did seem to think about it, like with the Adam and the Eve stuff and the disfellowshipping not being very loving. So you do wonder sometimes if you get through to them. And as always, I'm trying to get across that you don't have to be in their organization or any religion to be a good person. Every one of these groups that I've spoken to, they seem to think you've got to be told what to do by a higher power that knows everything and knows what's best for you. Like I said to them, isn't that like being under the control of a dictator? Well, another day, another J-dub.